podcast is powered by Audio House Dublin.
Alright guys, welcome to episode 20 of the Sold Out podcast with Bobby Basil.
Hello, how's it going?
Do you want to introduce yourself a bit?
My name's Bobby Basil. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, you know, before we started recording, you were saying, well, obviously, first of all, like, big fan of your music.
Thank you.
It's really dope.
Thank you.
I don't know, it doesn't remind me of anybody. Like, sometimes usually when people come in, I'll be like, oh, it reminds me of this person. But you have so many different styles even already. You only have a few songs out, like One Time Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't sound anything like The Neighbours.
No, not at all.
There's a good mix there.
Yeah, there is a good mix.
Would you say, like, you have any influences or anything?
Well, definitely I have influences. Well, in terms of my music having a lot of different sounds. Remember I was talking before about the uniform sound?
Yeah.
So the album that I have coming out, Isaac Nelson, it's definitely more of a uniform sound, you know. Nothing will sound like One Time Thing.
Yeah.
And it's
probably more, because I was going to say, actually, just even before, The Neighbours is probably like my favorite one.
Everything's is going to be leaning towards that.
Yeah, that's dope.
More spacey,
yeah,
sort of lo-fi but trappy still.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, even like the lyrics though are like proper. You know, there's storytelling going on. Which is something that Irish hip hop doesn't have loads of at the moment.
Not particular. Kojak, he does a lot of storytelling. He's very good at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of more like miscellaneous sort of lyrics.
Yeah.
Kind of put in.
Yeah. Because we've had like a mix of different people on, but it is kind of crazy how even in Dublin, like being so small and like not really having like a rich hip hop culture, but they're already, even just in the last year or two, has like really diversified now.
Yeah, no, it has. It's definitely a lot multicultural as well.
Because before, I feel like it was. We were talking to the district lads about how Dublin basically had more of a techno scene than anything else, and then in just the last year or two, it's really, I think even with like the headliners at Longitude, you see a big shift.
Yeah, there is a big shift
in the last year or two.
Yeah, no, it's
just like that outside influence, I guess.
Yeah, I really do think that plays a big part.
Yeah,
even over in England and stuff, you know, like it's
even with grime, I feel like
Jamaican sort of like big influence, and I feel like that's important for people to mix in that way because like there is different influences. And if people are coming from different parts of the world, you're sort of getting influence from that part, so it makes them more accessible for other people to
just gives like
connect.
A new sound as well.
And
then Drake can steal it and make it one dance, and you know. Like,
but back to your question, you asked me, do I have influences? Yeah, definitely. Like I love The Weeknd, Drake, Travis Scott, but even influences that aren't just from music, like. As I said, I've done acting. I've studied a bit acting, you know, and even influencing from the philosophy of how to go towards a character or a role. Yeah, you can like put that into your music as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
especially because I can't remember on which episode we were kind of talking about like the marketing side of things as well. You know, like do you find yourself kind of, does the acting kind of help you? Like, I don't know if you're portraying not much of a character, because I guess you're talking about some personal stuff in the songs, but does it help you at all with the kind of, you know, persona of your artist?
Yeah, 100%. It helps with going with your gut, with how you feel, more than what you've learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more how you feel. And even just a basis of the quote, use your eyes.
Yeah.
So when when I'm doing music videos, like I'm able to really get into that character or get into myself appropriately and sort of internalize it. So you're kind of looking at someone and you're kind of, what's going on in their world? What are they thinking?
Yeah.
So you're not seeing someone that's like very conscious of the camera being there, or what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm in a video, people are going to be seeing. It's like, no, I'm in my zone, and that's all I really need to know.
Yeah. And that's a big difference between like a video that's just like bad bitches and cars and like all this stuff. Yeah.
But even then, if it's real to them and you can see them in the moment and you can see them in the character, or you know what I mean, it does make it that more real.
Yeah, I feel like you have to have like a lot of like empathy to like really put yourself in a character's shoes. Like,
100%.
That's like the main thing I feel like.
That's a huge thing, empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Like you came. I kind of just. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but the book you came with. Like, do you read a lot?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, because last summer I read Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah.
I think I've ever talked about books on the podcast before.
Yeah,
like I feel like every now and again you read a good book that like just changes like your mindset
shift.
for a while. What's you're reading at the moment?
It's my second time reading it. That's why it looks a bit battered.
Yeah.
6 Pillars of Self-Esteem.
Yeah.
By Nathan. Sorry, I'm really bad with names.
Yeah. I saw it there. It was like a proper mad name on it.
Nathan Branson, I think. But he's like a doctor, like a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And it gets into like the 6 pillars of self-esteem. So like, let's say one of them would be like assertiveness. So like sort of standing up.
Yeah, for yourself.
Yeah, but not in a way that's like aggressive, but in a way that
you're not getting fucked around.
Either. Yeah, but you feel like you have an importance to say what you feel.
Yeah.
Out of respect for yourself, and then you can have like integrity. So like how much you tell the truth, and you can like live up to your, of what, like me saying like, oh, I'll be 5 minutes late or something.
Yeah,
you know, like
literally, yeah.
Just literally just saying, I think I was 2 minutes late.
Yeah.
But just having integrity to come on time and have respect for others, and another one would be acceptance. So accepting like what comes your way instead of trying to reject it and push it off, and that'll just be like 3 pillars.
And just adapting to it and stuff. Yeah.
So self-esteem is like a result of all those things that you put forward to your character and morals and. Yeah,
no, I love getting into all that stuff. Even like the last year or two, like I'd always been consuming like Jordan Peterson. Things like that. Yeah, the 12 Rules for Life. Yeah, it's really.
I read
good.
the other one you said as well, the Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah, that's a great book
Napoleon.
as well. I'm trying to think. I haven't read anything else kind of worth mentioning in a while. Just been so busy, like by the time we record this, go home, edit it or whatever, it's like the last thing I want to do is like open a book or whatever. But I do miss it a lot.
I think when you break it down to like, say like, I'll read like 6 pages today, you know, and you kind of set the, like Jordan Peterson would say, set the bar low.
Yeah, true.
And some people are like, what do you mean set the bar low? But it's like, make it simpler, so at least you'll do it anyway, and you'll set those patterns, and maybe next time you'll read 10 pages, you know.
Yeah, I like the way he used to say something about he's like, when you're making a calendar or making a schedule, and he's like, even if you hit that calendar 51%, you've made a 1% like improvement on, you know exactly. I mean? And it's like, at least you're actually going into a positive, like you've put what's the word, like the needle of your life is now going positive rather than you're just letting it spiral all over the place.
Exactly. Because I think people and myself have like, you're always like looking for the best result, like the most phenomenal result, because probably you're comparing yourself to other people, and instead of just going like, maybe I'm looking for a result that's better than last time, that's probably a better way to go about it, I'd say. Yeah.
And do you see that even like, when did you start doing music? I know you were kind of firstly involved in like a group.
Deja Vu. I first started writing and releasing music in 2012. 2011 even actually. From there, it was just like slow stuff for my friend. Recluse. And
what kind of what made you think like, oh, we can do this? Like, was it just for fun at the start?
If anything, it was more because like I felt like I had to get a lot of stuff out. You know what I mean? I was going through some stuff, so I was like, started with poetry. And then I was like, I'll start rhyming, and then it started from that, and then I met Chris Montana in 2012. That was like a good few years before Deja Vu. And he was just on the phone to me one day, and he was just like, man, like if you can make this a reality, a career, or you can actually go for it. And I'm paraphrasing, but his sort of the feeling, it wasn't even the words, it was the feeling he gave me. I was like, shit, like I actually could try go for it.
We could try, like, you know, it's.
And sorry, I'm talking, but this is interesting. I remember in 2011 there was a documentary with like Costello GI. Do you remember that documentary?
I don't know it, but
it was like, it wasn't the one with like Class A's and Orty. It was like a different one. It was premiered in the IF. What's the cinema in Temple Bar?
IFC. The Irish film. IFI.
IFI, and I went and didn't have a ticket, and I couldn't get in, and I was like, fuck's sake. And And then a bouncer came to me and goes, or a woman came to me and goes, that bouncer over there has the ticket. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So I just went up to the bouncer and I was like, she told me you had a ticket. And he was like, yeah, you can have it. And I got in and no one knew me, at all. And I was just sitting in there on my own. And I was just thinking, everyone here in a few years is going to know who I am.
Yeah.
And I just had that like belief in me, Yeah. And I'm fairly sure that did happen, I'm not saying that like, oh, it's such a big thing, right? But it was important for me to have that belief.
Exactly, yeah.
Just to know that
get that far,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because we see it. I was only saying to you last night, almost like you could probably relate to this doing music and stuff now, where it's like you look around at like your peers, or whatever, and you're kind of like, what's ordinary people almost do with their time? Do you know what I mean? Because like you're putting so much effort into like a craft or whatever, and then. Like even going home and editing or something is like more hours that people don't see and stuff. Where it's like, I don't remember what we used to, because even you've been doing this since 2011. You were saying 2012. We've only been doing this since like May, like the podcast, and it's already feels like we've been doing it forever.
I understand that. Like I went through stages of like, I think in 2016 I sort of had a revelation where I was like, I'm not going to go out and drink. And because there was a lot of partying with me and Chris when we were doing Deja Vu, Yeah. There was a lot of going out. We had a lot of gigs, so we went out and we just...
and just stay out.
Staying out. And sometimes you'd be out for nearly 3 days at a time, just that kind of stuff. Yeah. And since I cut that out and a lot of, like, I changed what I done, because it comes back to you saying, what did you do before? And I do remember, and only like 2 years I started like reading and like done acting, and
true. You were always kind of on a fairly productive schedule then, really.
Trying, but like definitely cutting out the drinking really did like help that.
Because I don't know, maybe it was just because we were so into like video games and stuff when we were older. It's just such a like time sink, But at the same time it did lead us to like eventually do this, because like the channel that we're uploading on now, there used to be Call of Duty videos on this.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
I just like reappropriated it then for the podcast, like
Call of Duty. I could never. I was always terrible at that.
Yeah, literally. I was terrible as well, but it didn't stop me from trying to like upload.
Like I was terrible, and I was just like, I don't like this game. The first person, I just don't like that. I'd rather see the full character. But
well, we were heavy into that, and then even like I got into World of Warcraft and all, which is just like it absorbs all your time. Like
Genie. I've never gotten like deep into it. I say it is a buzz like when you get into it. It's just
it's great when you like. It's one of them. It's like anything though. You need to be doing it like with mates,
Okay.
Because once, like, I don't really know anyone that in my circle that still plays games like that anymore. But like, if you tried to like get into it on your own, it's almost like it's not fun then when you're just on your own. Like,
so like World of Warcraft, like what goes on that game? What's it about?
I don't know if we should actually get into what happens in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, why not?
But, it's a buzz. Like it's like you have a character, you have to level all the way up, and that's I can't believe we're actually talking about this.
I don't know, man.
I never thought. Stop. And that can be fun, because like if you have a few mates, like I'm saying, like leveling up their character as well, and all of the different.
So when you level up, like what are you leveling?
So there's like classes. So then you're unlocking more and more abilities, and the different classes have different stuff going on. So if you have a mate who's like, there's like healers, and then there's like people who do like the damage, and then there's all sorts of stuff going on. Basically, like you're working as a team, really.
Okay.
And eventually, like when you are fully leveled up, there's stuff to go get. Like there's like mounts that you can collect, so like you can get like big dragons to ride around on, or cool armor and stuff. And like there's backstories for all these like quests you're doing, and like these bosses that you're killing. Like there's the expansions that come out every couple of years, and there'll be a big like story, like a big basically new game that comes out every couple of years. And basically though, at the end of it all, like you can fight against each other with like in PvP it's called. So it'll be like there's two main factions in the World of Warcraft. There's like Alliance and Horde. I can't believe we're talking about this, but eventually you can basically fight to try and take over like land from each other and stuff like this.
Okay.
So I don't know. Cool. Basically, you can do it like a load of different things, but you have to have mates to be doing it to have fun. Because you're in a Skype call and you're just having banter and like trying to do something, trying to figure something out. Like it is at the end of the day just problem solving, or do you know what I mean? Like it's like if you're getting into, I don't know even what else they're like it's like Fortnite now, the way you know, everyone drops into that world and just fights until there's one left. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's just it's
the same sort of thing.
Intense, definitely. Yeah.
But that's what kind of like led us to just like doing this. Like we had spare, like in the first couple of episodes, was the spare mics that we were using back then and the spare webcam. And like, and then it was only episode like 6 or something. We got like the
because like you were obviously probably having like good chats like during the game.
Yeah,
like,
stuff like
this
that.
Would be hilarious if like we actually just made something.
Literally, like
that's cool.
Like, you just realize you could just build from what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's always evolving as well. Like, and that's why it just kind of reminded me just when you were talking about the music side of things, where your friend Chris was like, "Oh, we could actually try and make this happen." It's like, it's kind of like that moment where like you're like,
exactly.
Like,
do you know,
you're sitting in your normal job and you're thinking like, damn, if this was paying the bills, like,
you
know, that makes you kind of go, but you do have to try, you know, you have to put the hours in. Like,
100%. Like I think also as well that like people always talk about hard work so much, but they forget about working smart. Yeah. Where like you can actually save like 80% of the time. Yeah. Like one example of that would be like when me and Chris brought out our first video, Hawks and Eptis, like we put it on Vlad TV. And that's just sort of like you're putting your video on like a highway almost, you know. Like you can be busking with amazing music, and you could be up in the mountains. No one's gonna hear it. Or you could go like, let's say Grafton Street or something, and you have loads of people hearing it. Yeah. It's the same things happening, but it's in a different way.
Even on social media,
smarter. Like, yeah. And there's so many different ways. Like I need to learn to even work even smarter, you know. And I think that's like a main thing. Yeah,
even early on, like even like we were talking about with the gaming side of things, there was a guy I met from through that called Jediah. And he ended up doing a lot of artwork for like XXX. Later on, he was like a graphic designer as well.
And he's from Dublin?
But he's from Australia.
Okay.
But we got him on early on in the podcast just because like he grew his Instagram back from when I used to know him. But he has like 160k now.
Does he?
Like,
yeah.
And he like he used to like DM XXX. So when X passed, I was like reaching out to him and I was chatting to him. I was like, man, if you ever want to come on the podcast and talk about what happened and so like what you do with him and stuff like that. And he came on. That was like one of the things you're saying early on. Just working smart, like getting him on, having that connection. That episode got like 5,000 views or something. It was such a catapult, just like and it was worth asking him to do it.
Exactly. Like you
rather than kind of out here kind of getting guests that you needed to build an audience for people to come on as well, you know. So it's good to get him on early on just for that push, like
100%.
Call in those favors.
I think reaching out to people as well, because a lot of people have like they can have too much pride and they're like, I'm not reaching out because like they're scared to get rejected.
Literally that's what I'm always in the DMs, like just everybody and anybody, like come on, like let's do some stuff. But like eventually like we're only 20 episodes in, like it's not like we're what's the word, being protective with you know, like we can do it every week. You're kind of like we're not running out of episodes.
You're going in with a child's mindset, and that's another thing I learned in like Post Street is like we lose connection with how we were as children, because then we end up like building this like global mindset where you're thinking from the perspective of others instead of the perspective of yourself. And it can crush you, it can stop you, you know. You kind of, because then you're thinking about how is the right way of doing it instead of going, how do I feel doing it? And if you fuck up, then you'll learn from that. And eventually you'll just get it right.
Or how does this make me look and stuff
you know what I mean, like, and we all do it, like, and it sucks, but like if you can be like conscious of it, that's another one of the pillars, consciousness. If you can be conscious of it and aware, which is another one, then we can fix it then.
I remember even reading the way you bring the book up, one of the things that always stuck with me at Think and Grow Rich was the story of like, it was like a gold digger, and he was like, he knew there was treasure on this land or something that he owned, and he went digging and it was like, 40 years or something he was digging on this land because he knew it was there but he could never find it, and he gave up at a certain point, like 40 years in or something. He's like, I'm never going to find it, and he sold the land, and the very next person just dug like 6 more feet in this tunnel he was digging.
Oh really? And found it.
And it's like that thing of like, just literally never give up, because you never know when you're going to be that close.
You don't know. You
know what I mean?
You don't know. And another thing is that like, no matter what you get, you're always going to want more as well. So like, I don't know where this destination is. It's never a destination, because unless it's like you have your goal, so your goal is to get that piece of gold, then it's like you reach your destination or get on a particular magazine or blog or something. But still, you're always want more.
Yeah, I always just kind of set one or two, like, 6 month kind of ones, and then I'll kind of reevaluate that and be like, where are we going after that then? I haven't really been thinking too much like 5 years from now, because it's too many variables. Like week by week there's stuff happening, let alone like.
Yeah, I think if you can go by like day by day, so like I'd say to myself, okay, I have to today I have to exercise. Yeah. I have to have smoothie. Like there isn't actually, because there's actually a detox smoothie and that smoothie. I have to put certain minerals in my body. I have to read a certain amount, and I have to like try like practice like self-love, I suppose.
And even
I try, but like
career, even just like an Instagram story or like
well, those things as well. Yeah, those things as well. And but some days can be really shit.
Yeah, 100%. Like
get really down and stuff like that. But like
100%.
But if you can try those practices, like they do help.
I feel like it is good to even have something to work on in your life as well. I feel like if you didn't have that outlet as well as
jeez,
you know what I mean, it's like a big thing, like, because
that's why a lot of people I say are like
I was thinking that I think like people don't have, because I was kind of thinking about it, I was like, when you actually break down like the whole 9 to 5 race, it's like you're never going to get, like, people have these ideas of what they want to do, but they're not doing anything in place to get there. You can look at a girl, it's like, I want to be like, I don't know, like a stylist or something, but it's like they're never, like, I'm just throwing a random idea, but like if they're just working in their retail job or something, but not making any attempt to like actually move out of that and start making their way over here, it's like
they're not, like,
it's never gonna happen. Like,
you can, because you have to, like, if you're working like a particular job that you don't really like, you can like leverage yourself with the money you get, so like you put that, spill it into whatever you love. But I think that's like, I was on a shoot, and I was on a shoot, and there was a guy who owned the house. I forget his name. Really bad with names. I forget his name.
I'm terrible.
This guy was about 50 something. He shot for like Michael Jackson. And hung around with Ray Charles and mad people. Like this guy was real freedom. Just his buzz was great. Like very inspiring. Easy going. But what was I saying? He smoked weed every day, and I was like, what does it get like at your age after smoking weed every day? So long? And he was like, well, the people that went crazy, that he knew, that lost their kind of mind by doing it, were the people that didn't have a purpose.
Yeah,
or didn't have any sort of nothing striving for. So they end up just.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think, it's almost that thing of like, in a way, like, the human mind needs a challenge, and that keeps you interested, keeps you engaged. I think,
regardless if you're smoking every day or whatever you're doing, if you have that purpose, like, it will just like push you through, like,
it'll force you to be like in some way making positive decisions in your life, because you're motivated on, look, I'm trying to make this happen, like,
100%.
you won't let yourself just spiral, like you're saying, into like chaos sort of thing.
Exactly. And I think that's why it's good to like do little practices every day and read certain books, and because like when you do get into those like positions, it's how do you act in them positions, because you can get yourself in a position and you can fuck it up just by your character.
100%.
And that person be like, I don't even know if I want to work with him again, because he was a bit of an asshole or arrogant or whatever, too much pride or whatever, and so I think it's important to have yourself in check, so when you do get yourself in the position, you can like optimize and
make the most of it.
Yeah, and make everyone that was involved have like a good taste in their after. These cameras are about to shut off, so
we'll take that break. Get back to it. All right, guys, we're back with Bobby Basil. Just off camera, you were talking a little bit about like some of the music we're listening to. I mentioned 6ix9ine. You said you had a story or something.
Oh yeah, back in 2015, I was in New York with my friends, and we were like just like going around, and I was like, I need to get some weed, what I mean? So I just seen some guy, and I went straight up to him and I was like, can you get any weed? And like all my friends were like, don't go up to him, you know what I mean? But I was like, no,
it's a bad idea.
I'm going up to him, asked him, and he was like, and he brought us to this like trap house. literally like
in the middle of New York. Like?
Yeah, in the middle of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And there was probably around like 6 lads there, like, you know what I mean, and they were sound, you know what I mean, like, but that was like my second night in New York, so I like.
That's insane, man.
Oh, this was like culture shock. I was like, where the fuck am I?
That's like that must have felt like a movie scene though, like.
Completely. Like these guys were just like, they're smoking so much weed. You know what I mean? So we're smoking weed and getting.
You
really
stayed with them. Like...
Yeah, we stayed with them for like an hour, 2 hours or something. You know what I mean? Like bunch of like 6 white boys just in this in this trap house. Like the place was a kip, and there was just like one table, and they had this like radio. You know what I mean? And they showed us this guy. They were like, "Hey, we want to show you our friend," you know. And they show us this rapper, and we're like, it's like, I don't know what to make. Scum gang. I don't know what to make of this. Like, and they were injecting heroin and stuff. They're like, this is real, and it ended up being like 6ix9ine, you know, Takeshi at the time. And we were even sitting beside the guy who done Takeshi's tattoos. No way. Yeah. And so I've been following him since like 2015.
Since like way back.
Right? Yeah. And then like I put up. I remember I put a post in like it was August in 2017, and I was like, he's gonna be huge in 2 years or something. You know what I mean? But it was actually 2 months later. It was just bam. I was like, what?
Man, he exploded out of nowhere. Same with all
he
them
wrote
guys.
back to me in Instagram before. I sent him, and he only had 10,000 followers at the time.
That's insane.
And he was like, I appreciate you, and he liked the track and stuff, and
that's insane.
Which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, like even some of the guys like Lil Pump and all, like Trippie Redd, when Adam 22 would have been uploading like the vlogs and stuff. Yeah. And it's like you just see Lil Pump like kind of just hanging around like the shop in LA, like the skate shop in LA and stuff, and like.
Was this years ago? Like
only like a year or two ago though. You know the way like it would have been just before the album or whatever, but before a little bit before Gucci Gang, because that's when it just.
It was when he had
that kind of stuff, like where he was still playing big shows, but like, you know. He's like was just chilling in the shop and like could survive, but now he's like, you know, decked out in the ice, everything, like playing like Longitude and all, like, and man, he actually shut it down. Like,
it was crazy.
I went to I ran from Tyler over to Lil Pump, and I was so worth it. I even did like tribute to X and all. It was so good. Like,
I said that was class.
Yeah, it was just the energy, you know. It's just like he came out, and in fairness, he only played like 7 or 8 songs, but they're all bangers. Like,
really, only 7 or 8 songs.
Yeah, because he had like his set was from like say 7 till 8 or something, but he didn't come out until 7:30 because his DJ was the first half of his set.
Oh, really?
And then he came out, played like his 7 number 1 hits, and then just dipped off again. You're kind of like, I mean, yeah, okay,
yeah,
because it was no like bad Lil Pump songs. It was just like the ones you knew.
Yeah, I get you. Then
he didn't bullshit you with like, this one that isn't good. You know what I mean? He just literally came out, played Gucci Gang, Flex Like You, you know, all the ones, and then 2 XXX songs, and then dipped off, and we're like,
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good though. And then Travis as well that night.
Oh fuck yeah! No, I'm actually getting sad now and thinking I didn't go.
Like the fact that he was supposed to play the Academy like a year or 2 ago.
Oh shit, was he?
Yeah, like 2016 or something.
What happened?
It literally just cancelled. I'd say it was like because he didn't like sell well over here at the time or something. But like if he had played the Academy, like that would have been like
that would have been crazy.
Shut down, like proper riots or something. Now.
Imagine Takeshi coming over here. I say those tickets sell in about like probably about.
I still just can't get over it how like popular he actually is. Like he's someone that you look at and are just thinking like there's no way that he's like a pop star.
It's the rainbow hair really just, like really does like because did you listen to his tracks from like 2015?
Not 2015. No, I've only listened to the album.
Like he used to have blonde hair. He used to have like black hair.
The only other song I remember looking him up when I heard about him first, and the song I listened to was like Helsing Station.
Oh yeah, that
one's hard, but I never.
That was when he started touring around. He started going around Europe and started like, I think Fuck Them or a Scandinavian YouTube channel. I think they are.
And that's who he did it with.
And that's what Gummo even went up on.
Yeah.
And that's when like
it started blowing up.
Yeah, it started blowing up.
Yeah, because that's when I first started hearing about him. I listened to that song. I was like, it's good, but I didn't listen to him then. And then next time I heard about him was like when I was doing training and work. My friend was talking to me about 6ix9ine. Didn't shut up about 6ix9ine, and he went to Electric Picnic and wouldn't shut up about Versatile. And I was like, what? Like, of all the artists that like Kendrick was there, like Nerd, like all these big artists, and he hasn't shut up about seeing Versatile and wanting to see 6ix9ine. I'm like, what is this like?
Yeah, it's
insane the way like
enjoy, like there's different ways you can enjoy music.
Literally,
you know what I mean? And it isn't all like very serious, you know, like Versatile, like they're just gas. It's just gas.
They've blown up so much as well. It's insane. Like, but even like the way you were saying, I feel like we're listening to similar music like The Weeknd, Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Even you had a picture on your Instagram story, Mac Miller. When he over on tour, was it, or
he came over with Lil Wayne in 2000? I think that was in 2012 or 2013. And it was just after he done Watching Movies with Sounds Off, which is probably one of my favourite albums ever.
Yeah, literally.
And I found out where he was staying. I skipped college. Yeah. Found out where he was staying and went out and hung outside his hotel. Within 10 minutes he came. And I was like,
that's so
it's crazy,
Damn, that's so good.
Yeah.
Man, even think about that now, how worth it that
is. I know, I was like, because his album just like touched me so much. I was like, I need to see this man.
Objects in the Rear View is like one of my favourite songs. Objects in the Mirror. Yeah. That's like one of my favourite songs. The one with like the internet though as well, when he did it live. If you've ever seen that one.
That's the one that's...
It is the one.
Then it all ain't no need to kill yourself.
Oh no, that's another one you're talking about now. No, I'm thinking of the one though. It is Objects in the Mirror, but it's there's a version of it on another album called like Something in Space or something.
Okay, I don't know.
It's on Spotify as well, but it's with the internet. You know, like Odd Future is like.
Oh, what you say? The internet.
Yeah.
Is that a name? Is that a crew? Is it? Oh,
yeah,
sorry, I don't know.
Sorry, yeah. But they're like a band sort of thing, so they did like live instrumentation for it.
Really?
It's like Mac Miller. And he did a few songs on it. He did like a few songs from Watching Movies with the Sound Off, like with them. That's really good. It's just live, cool, like it's really good buzz.
That's nice.
But that's like one of my like favorite songs ever. And it's like I didn't expect though, to be honest, like the amount of reception he received when he passed. Like I thought Mac Miller was like, you know, people listen to him like that were into hip hop, but I saw like a lot more people kind of like.
Do you know what I mean? He made like his genre is very like he definitely has like a blues sort of like like when he does what was his new album he done before he died? He done that like live
and stuff and
what he done in performance. It's kind of like the whole set is like everything's like a bookshelf and there's like a whole band doing it and you're sitting there on the studio.
Oh, sorry, the Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, just like stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not just like hip hop.
Yeah, like
it's
with
like,
Thundercat.
It's very much like music, instruments. Like he's very much a musician.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I wouldn't look at myself as a musician.
Yeah,
I look at myself as like just like an artist, like writer, rapper. You know, but I can't play an actual instrument. Your mouth's like an instrument though, like your tongue.
Yeah, and it's just like your pen as well.
Yeah.
Like, his even the way he got into production so heavily, like he had the kind of the like Larry Fisherman thing and stuff like that.
Oh, that was.
Do you know what I mean?
That
like,
was so good.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like so.
Or what was the other one he had? He with the squeaky
and he played
voice.
proper like jazzy like beat tapes on that. You know what I mean? Like
what was the one when he was he done like with the squeaky voice?
Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Like it's actually sad. My names are so bad.
But yeah, like he
has a whole album with with that squeaky voice.
Like some Fred. Like
he has a track called Bill with Earl Sweatshirt. And can you look that up right now, real quick?
Bill, where do I put my phone?
just. And I need to get that because that's annoying.
Yeah, like
just look up Delusional Thomas.
Delusional Thomas.
Delusional Thomas. Delusional Thomas.
Yeah, that does sound actually familiar now. Or what you said, Billy?
Bill.
I was thinking of 6ix9ine again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see it there. I probably can't play it.
No, don't play it now. But I need to clarify that. Delusional Thomas. Yeah, no, look it up.
I do remember that. Yeah. Sick. But yeah, man, he put out some great albums. It's crazy how impactful 2018's been for hip hop, though. Like,
I think even in the last since 2013.
Yeah.
It's just been like lifting or 2012, like when Kendrick done Mad City.
Yeah.
Since then, it's just been like.
It's really been on a thing. But 2018 especially, it's like. Because we had this guy, Beta Da Silva from RTE Pulse on. Oh, yeah. And we kind of ran through every hip hop album of 2018. And there was like stuff you were forgetting about already. Like, look, Beer Bongs and Bentleys was like February. Then there was like, you know, we've had 2 Kanye albums, a Pusha T album.
There's another Kanye one.
There's another Kanye album coming.
Yeah.
There's been like a J. Cole album. There's been like just so much music and so much stuff has happened. Even like X
Travis
passing, like Travis Scott dropping.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Do you know, it's been
album, yeah, no, it has been crazy. Yeah,
it's been insane. Like so, like just hip hop. If you rewinded like to that era of like Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa, like all them boys coming out at that time, it's like. It's definitely feeling now there's been another like shift. Like,
100%.
This is another like.
I wasn't mad on Wiz Khalifa or Mac Miller when they first came out. Yeah, no, it just didn't resonate with the music.
I remember listening to like Best Day Ever, and then not really listening to him for a while until watching movies with the sound off.
Yeah, when that
I just love that album as well. And then Faces a bit, but Faces is like weird.
I love that as well. I actually,
it's weird though. Like it's some proper experimental shit. Like
snowflakes, he falling on my expired debit card.
Yeah. Man, I'm always so bad for knowing lyrics though.
I am as well. Usually, I'm surprised I got that.
Like if I hear something, I'm always like mumbling over what they're saying. Yeah. Is there anything like you want to like plug or anything like upcoming or?
Yeah, my album Isaac Nelson.
Is it going to be like this year? Like
yeah, it is. I'm going to have some singles out before.
Sweet. Some more videos and stuff. You just put out the video for.
I don't get enough yet. That was a few months ago. But yeah, some more videos.
Yeah.
But production.
Actually, I wanted to ask how you filmed that though, because the poor guy running like in front of you.
Oh no, he was in a car.
In a car. I was hoping. I was like, man, like you're probably sprinting down the road, like.
And that was sped. I had to do that sped up, so like the song was actually sped up.
Yeah.
So we slowed it down in post, and just done it one take.
Yeah. No, it looks dope. Like but yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, man, is there a poor guy like having to like walk?
That's yeah.
But yeah, is there like more videos?
But with the album, like I'm working with names. I'm working with Shortcut, Adam Shannon, Chili, and Adam Buckley. Like, do you know any of those names?
I don't know the names, but
yeah,
it's dope just to even get you on and like. The since starting the podcast, like the networks has really been expanding. Like I didn't know half of the Irish rappers in the scene before starting the podcast. And now it's like getting to really know everybody. Like like hearing about this, and then even like you just mentioned like Kojak or something. You start branching out then and knowing everybody, and like even then the producers, like you're saying, are like it's really good just for actually. Eventually, I'm hoping like in another 20 episodes that we have like. Nearly everybody in the scene on at some stage, getting them returning, and eventually maybe like coming on together, like, do you know what I mean? Like some dope buzz, like, but yeah, like, so they'll keep an eye on your social media, like your Instagram, shout out and all. I'm sure in the description.
I'm sure you've seen Luca Palm as well.
No, actually,
Luca Palm, really?
No,
you'd love him.
It's gonna be like, right, Luca Palm, you're gonna get a DM in about a week's time, and I'm like, oh shit, like,
But even just to listen to him, you know what I mean? Just listen to his music. He's doing stuff with Kojak.
Yeah, 100% it will actually, because it's so dope. Like honestly, like even since getting into it, like JLOL came on, I didn't know about Chris Cabs until he said it, you know, and then I'm like listening to Chris Cabs, and then that leads on to some other boys as well, and
or even Recluse. I done The Neighbours with. Like I've known Recluse since I've known him all my life basically, and even Luca, like I've known him all my life, and it's all sort of like. And
actually, just before we wrap up as well, some of the songs you had around 2015 with like Waste Fellow seemed to do really, really good for you.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Who is he like? Or
Dale, Waste Fellow. Yeah, like again, I've known him since I was in school with him as well. Like we're all in school together. But yeah, no, he's on Soft Boys.
Yeah,
he's amazing. He's like, there's no words. Like he's just.
Yeah,
he just does. Like he's extra. Extra.
Is he? Yeah. He won't mind you saying that, I hope.
No, he's extra.
Yeah. Fair, but keep an eye out for Bobby Basil album coming soon.
Isaac Nelson.
Sorry.
That
was like who did I have on? I fucked up their name at the start. Just with Beta, I was like, oh, it's Beta, and he was like, it's Beta. I was like, oh man, it's just one of them things, you know. It's just when you're talking like on the mic, it's just any little mistake, you're just oh.
I don't know who that is, but something like that.
Beta. Yeah. Like that's what, because it's written BETA. I just felt so bad. At the very start, you know. I was just like, oh, sorry.
That's funny.
But put all the links in the description. And
that's cool.
So man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, good.
Thank you.